first topic that we've raised is the day after and integration on human trafficking. So what is integration? Is it only a technical issue, or are there more issues behind integration? Are people that are survivor victims considered equals to people that have never been victimized? Do we deal with them the same way, or are there bearing some cliches and stereotypes? We will discuss how do we help and support those victims, those survivor people, to get off the traumas that they have experienced. How do we protect vulnerable populations from being victimized? And these are some of the topics that we will discuss today. It is very important to raise that and to share with everyone that the keynote speakers today are from shelter houses of survivor victims of human trafficking, and from organizations that deal with integration of vulnerable groups. So these are the people that can share with us the realities of the issue that we're discussing. Danae Diamantatou from Damaris House.
Hello from me as well. Thank you for the invitation. And it's very interesting that we can connect with each other as well. Like, you give us this opportunity to get to know what everyone is doing and how we can help each other. So I work in community House Damaris, which aims to empower survivors of sexual exploitation and human trafficking and their children to find restoration and continue with their independent life. And we do that through offering a safe house and also an educational therapeutic program, which is offered to even people who don't reside in the safe house, but it's structured in such a way so that at the first level offers ways to deal with the trauma that has been experienced, and the second phase offers more of employment readiness and opportunities for internship. And then at the third phase, people are usually ready to support themselves and their children by keeping their job. So we slightly fade out as the participants take their own path.
You're dealing also with survivor victims, and you have a pretty structured approach and methodology on how you help them integrate. I know that you've been trained and you're implementing a protocol, a 9-month protocol. Can you tell us something about that?
Yes, thank you. We are another link in the chain. I would say we are in between street work and small businesses that offer job opportunities. So our program is the 3 phases that we work with. The first phase, yes, lasts around 9 months, maybe 6 or maybe a year, depending on the participant. And in this first phase, we offer mostly classes and time to deal with trauma, to work with personal development, setting personal goals, relationship management, or working on how to learn different parenthood so that we break the cycle of abuse. So during these 9 months, participants have the opportunity to deal with themselves and the past. And after that, each one of them takes their own personalized path, one participant with one facilitator, and they map their next steps. So the second phase, again, lasts differently for each participant. And it's kind of a guided, maybe supported first steps into the workplace. So yes, these are the first 2 steps. And as we do that, we try to discipline ourselves, I would say, to give less input, hear more, and acknowledge that really the one who is expert about themselves is the person itself. So yes, this is the process more or less that we follow.
Can you recall some of your own experiences and share with us?
Well, I will not repeat everything that Eva-Lena said. She described very well. I was thinking that just out of experience, we've seen that it's like every time with participants, it's like we follow at the same circle. And at first, there's always hesitation on whether we really are going to do what we said we're going to do. So you need to earn the trust, and this first period of that we are under trial on whether we are really going to do what we said. Then it's usually what we have called like the honeymoon period, that we are, we're great, we're very good, we are supportive. And after this honeymoon period is over, then is when the real work starts. Like this is when people really decide if they're going to continue to work with the trauma with us, or if they're going to move in a different direction and they start to go deeper. And I would say that some of the maybe success story that I would say is for participants who left the program earlier than we would have decided for themselves. And they said, at that moment, it didn't feel like a success story at all. Like we felt it was a complete failure from our side, that we didn't communicate well, we didn't maybe connect well. But looking back, we see that they really took their lives in their hands and they said, no, this is the steps I need to take. This is my next path. And now looking back, it's really exciting to see that there are people, some of our participants, yes, work in businesses that we could work with, but there are others who have found on their own.
Give me an example. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I want to feel what you're saying. Give me an example. How does it feel? Is this a normal job for you? I mean, do you go to work and you're with a person that needs to be integrated? I mean, a lot of people from society need to be integrated into work. What are we dealing with here? Why is this a special case? What is it? Who is a victim of sexual trafficking? And why are these people so much in need of our special support? I mean, this person, first day that you meet them, what is the state that they are?
Usually the first day that we meet people, they're just, Eva-Lena described, most of the times they're scared of us and scared of the future. But the thing is, I don't know if my answer is very unusual, but at times it feels like a very normal, like we forget the background, we forget, it's just people, like we're friends. It's just a normal day to work. Like sometime I was in a conversation and they said community House Damaris works with people who were in sex trafficking. I said, oh, we don't. And then, oh yes, but you're right, we do. But you forget, and we are interact like normal people. They do have deep trauma and deep needs. Like they cannot concentrate more than a specific time. You need to teach in completely different way. I'm an educator, and the first day I came in the organization, the first month, I used to give homework, I used to give tests, I used to give things like that. Well, all this is gone now, and I teach in a completely different way, because I have to take in mind that when my participants, when they want to learn Greek so hard, and when they try to persuade themselves, all they're thinking is they're thinking of the past. They're thinking of who led them in where they are today, who led them so that they don't have a good memory, all the things that happen. So while I'm conjugating a verb, they are remembering all the past that led them here. So yes, I do have to teach in a completely different way. When someone, their past and their problems and the things they're thinking, it's like a symphony playing in their mind, and I am just saying my verbs and yes, of course it is completely different approach, but at the same time I'm just a person next to a person. I am learning more. I'm getting support as well, and I think this is part of integration, to give and get. Like one of our most important needs as people is to offer support, help as well. And I am just getting through a very hard period with my father just suddenly. I hear the voice messages our participants sent me when they found out about my dad, and they have been so supportive in my life, maybe more than I have been in theirs. I don't know. But yes, I'm not sure if I'm answering your question, but...
No, completely. Thank you very much. That's very touching. In Damaris' house, you create jewelry. I mean, I was wearing last summer your amazing bracelets that we bought with Kostoulas last time. So tell me, how is making jewelry and how is connected to the community and to the customers? How does this help these women?
Well,
and give me a story if you can.
Yeah, well, it's mostly bracelets or sometimes earrings. Well, the participants, they learn, it's different for each one of them. Some of them like very much to do this. And I understand what Eva-Lena says, like at the beginning, they were maybe afraid to try or to make a mistake, but we had a participant who made her own designs, like changed the pattern completely and made traditional things. And yes, this has been now in pause for a while, this process, but I have heard also of other organizations that do similar things. Like I recently found out about the Bejeweled company that does exactly the same thing, creates jewelry and employs women out of trafficking. So,
how important is it for these women to actually turn around and tell you? I mean, they have their children next to them, that they see them sewing or making jewelry, and their children meet their mothers on a very different scenery. How important is it for these women to say that now I know something that I can do?
Yes, I remember one of our participants that every time that we asked, like maybe you played a game on say something positive for other participants, like she was really surprised that others had positive things to say about her. And as time goes by, you see that they even take out this pressure of themselves that I have to improve, I have to do this. Once they take this pressure out, this was very impressive for me to see that, yes, they want to see their lives different. They are encouraged and they're surprised when they see that they do create beautiful things. But the most change I see is when they take the pressure out of themselves and say, I cannot do everything. I'm a human. And when this pressure leaves, then they flourish, and then they are ready to say, no, I will not do this, or I cannot do this thing. I will stop here. And this is a great step for me.
Your 1 minute statement.
Yes.
Closure.
To build on the last thing Theodore said, I think from the whole discussion, it's obvious that we need tangible opportunities for people to work, to have this transitional phase as they enter into the workforce and well, into being able to support themselves. And I would also like to say that for everyone that is listening to us, we don't need to be something special or have a great background or study something specific. We can just take this step. One of these organizations that was presented today or any other, get to know them and be open to exchange, to learn, to hear, to even maybe say their own thing, do their own thing. It's okay. We took the step and we will learn from this whole process all together.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. We are extremely grateful for the work that you're doing for this population. let's not forget that Greece is the center of human trafficking in Europe, and we have a very big responsibility.